Today, we're going to be talking about the real estate market in 2026 with an expert on the market. This guy is the top realtor coach on YouTube. I've known him for a while. I've got Ricky Carruth. What's up, man?
What up, dude?
Dude, you're always talking to these realtors and giving the perspective as the agent. I'm always having the investors on. And, you know, we kind of neglect the agents a little bit. So bring some light, because you guys are supposed to be like the market experts.
Yeah, no doubt. So, I mean, what do you want to know? Like predictions this year?
I want to know predictions this year. I want to know how we win.
Let me take it back, Reed. So, going back a couple months, December, right? So there were two reports that came out. NAR came out with two reports: an existing home sale and a pending home sale. The existing home sale crushed. Literally, December was the best existing home sale month for 3 years. Not just December for 3 years, but the best month overall for 3 years in existing home sales.
Existing home sales is just a home sale.
Homes that already exist, that aren't brand new, that sell. Right?
Okay, resales.
Yeah,
is what
basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so everybody's like, "Wow." A couple other things in the report that were very interesting was that prices. That was the 30th month in a row, consecutive month, that home prices were positive year over year. So 30 consecutive months, right? So remember all the doomers?
Yeah.
They said home prices are going to crash. 30 straight months of positive year-over-year prices. And inventory, right? So get this. Inventory, homes for sale in America, existing home sale, like listings, dropped 18% from November to December, just in a month.
But doesn't that always happen in December? Because people take it off.
It does, but not to that level.
Right.
Right? So part of it is, interest rates are better and people are buying homes, but a big part of it was sellers are just taking their home off the market.
Right.
So literally, you think about nearly basically a fifth of the homes that were for sale in November were not for sale in December, right? And so the pending home sale report comes out, and all this happens this month in January, and it's horrendous. It's like down 10%, month over month. It's like, well, they didn't have anything to buy. Inventory was down 18%. So there was nothing to buy. And so, when the existing home sale report came out, the guys at me were like, see? And then the pending home sale report came out and all the doomers like, see? And so it's like, but there was nothing to buy. And so here's what's going to happen, like just in the near term. January, since January hit, Trump came out and said $200 billion towards MBSs. Mortgage rates dropped because the spread between 10-year Treasury and mortgage rates compressed down to a normal level. And so buyers came out of the woodworks. So far in January, we're up double digits when it comes to pending home sales. But like that report doesn't come out. Like those headlines don't ever like come out. It's always lag, because people go by the NAR report and the Case Shiller report and stuff like that. So we're not really going to see that because, Housing Wire, they record weekly data. That's the best way to do it, is weekly, right? Look at what's pending, look at new listings, look at closings weekly. It's not as volatile as looking at 30-day data. So when the reports come out in February for January, this is what we're going to see. We're going to see existing home sales, a bad existing home sales report, because the pending home sales in December were bad. But the pending home sale report for January is going to be off the chain. Right. And then all those pending deals are going to close in February. And it's just the momentum was already at our backs. November, really August. August 1st was the bottom of the market. Like August 1st was literally the pinpointed day of the bottom of the housing market.
Really?
That was the first bad jobs report that came out, where they revised May and June. It was the first time where we were like, wow, look at this. And the Feds had a lot of pressure at that point to start lowering their rate, which affected the 10-year Treasury. And like I knew right then and there, like this is the beginning. But when you're in a market that's down, you can't really pinpoint the bottom until it's already passed, and then you look back and be like, oh, okay, that was the bottom. And then we're going to look back, and August 1st is going to be the bottom. We can already look back and see that momentum has been building ever since, because mortgage rates came down. The pending home sale thing was literally because there wasn't anything for sale, and buyers were like, well, it's Christmas anyway, we'll just wait. And then mortgage rates dropped, and then the floodgates opened up. So this year we're going to have a normal spring market that we didn't see last year. We're going to see a springtime rush. Everybody's every entity is calling for somewhere between 4.3, 4.4, 4.5 million existing home sales, which it was at 4 million last year.
Right. That's a huge increase.
Yeah. So we're like a 30-year low for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if you look at a chart, I'm going to show it here on stage in a minute. If you look at a chart of existing home sales going back to the 90s,
Yeah.
every time we have a housing recession, it gets down to 4 million for 3 or 4 years. And then it comes right back up and goes right back up to 5 million within a couple years. In the 90s, it did it. In 2008, it did it. And we just hit our 3rd year, going into our 4th year. So right now we're due for the rebound, which is happening right now. So like we're in the very beginning stages. These things, man, the real estate market moves so slow. Like it's really easy once you understand the cycles to kind of understand where we are in the cycle, where it's going. You know, we're going to see 4.4 million home sales this year. It's going to be, 4.8 the next year. It's going to be 5.1. It's just going to kind of keep stair-stepping up until it kind of plateaus wherever it's going to land. It's going to do that for 8 to 12 years. And then guess what? We're going to have 4 million existing home sales for 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just cycles, and it's pretty easy to like understand where we are and what to do to take advantage of it. Because we're in a very low inventory market. So like I don't know exactly where we're right this second, but we're somewhere right above 1 million listings, right? Homes for sale in America. Normal is 2.2 to 2.5. That's a normal market. In 2008, it was 4 million. So we're in a low inventory market. We're moving into a rebound where we're going to have more transactions. And you got a country full of sellers who don't have to sell. That's why they're taking their homes off the market. So prices are going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And there's a lot, most of the companies that predict are really calling for flat prices this year. I think they're just trying to just like be conservative and play it safe. And, but to me, it's like simple math.
You think it's going up?
Yeah, especially in some markets like Cape Corals and Naples and Austin that got hit really hard, that prices are actually down like 10, 15%. They're going to come up because they're down a whole lot. What's interesting is, as a country, we're up right now, prices, 30 straight months. And if you look at each market, for every market that's down, 2%, there's a market that's up 2%. For every market that's down 8%, there's a market that's up 8%. Like it's very balanced, when you look at all the markets out there, one that's down a whole lot, there's one that's up a whole lot, and they've balanced themselves out. So there is a spectrum of, down markets and up markets. But I think the ones that are down are going to kind of see the most appreciation this year. So like if somebody's in Austin or Cape Corals or Naples or, Miami actually hasn't gotten hit that hard. The everybody talks about Florida, the cities over on the east side of Florida, they're actually still doing all right. It's the cities on the west side of Florida that really got hit hard, Sarasota, stuff like that.
Well, it's interesting. So that's all really good detail. I appreciate that. And it's a lot to digest for probably the listeners. So I'll give you some like contextual things since we're wholesaling nationwide now. So we actually have seen a lot of things in these different markets. Like when we tried to wholesale in Florida, it was hard, dude.
Yeah.
Like, just
when was that?
Last year. Yeah, and we would get deals, and it's just like they look like deals on paper. You look at the ARV and you
couldn't sell
move them. People didn't want to buy them, and insurance premiums and all that stuff in Florida is crazy.
Yep.
But now, to your point, in January, it was like it just flipped.
Mm-hmm.
We started assigning every deal at a high level. We started closing more deals. Mm-hmm. Buyers are now like, oh, do we want to buy for the spring? And, all this stuff. Sellers are more realistic. Like, it's just, there's far more transaction volume than there like just was. Like, I can see it this January compared to last January and other Januaries. Like, there's always a little bump after December because everybody's like, all right, the holidays are over, let's sell. But it's not this quick. It's like, it feels like it's the spring, but it's January.
Yeah, I was saying that it didn't quite feel like a spring rush right when the rates came down, but it kind of did for a second. Like people were getting multiple offers more than asking price and stuff like that. So see, you can even feel it in your business. That in the wholesaling side, people just people are getting accustomed to what this new environment is. Like we've kind of been here for a second. Rates have been high, prices have been high, insurance has been high, for a couple of years now.
Yeah, prices and rates just are what they are. They're going to choose to buy or not.
Yeah, they are what they are. You know, like Dave Ramsey, I saw a little clip of him. It was like, you know, they are what they are. And he was like, prices went down one time in 70 years. You know?
2008.
2008, and they shot right back up right after that. So, you know, if you're waiting on a, you know, once in a 70-year, you know, occurrence to happen, you know, you're going to be waiting a long time. But yeah, like the whole unaffordability thing is something that works itself out in time. You know, mortgage rates and wage growth and, you know, unemployment and even prices have decelerated. Like they're still going up, but like it was a 0.5%.
About these markets, especially like a Vegas, where, dude, renting is just so much cheaper than owning now.
Yeah, it just depends on your situation in life, though. You know what I mean? So, like, if you are, and you mean like for a consumer, like should you rent or buy kind of thing?
Yeah,
it's a personal decision because for me, home price is going to continue to go up.
Right.
You know, they may settle out here for a little while, but they're gonna have their continual uptrend. So it's just a matter of, do I want to build equity? You know, like for me, it's like if I'm going to be here for a while, I'd rather be building equity.
Right.
It depends on what the difference is in rent.
Well, like in Vegas, it's a lot. Like if they're very similar, it's like, well, yeah, let's own
yeah.
Right. But like, dude, in Vegas now, okay, if the median home is $500K, you know, and you're putting 3% down, 5% down as a, you know, low down payment buyer, you know, your mortgage is like, I don't know, $3,500 or whatever it is. The rent is like, you could rent that same house for like $2,000 to $2,500.
That's crazy.
That's the difference.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's bad for investors.
I know. And that's why I look here in Vegas, I'm like, you know what? You should probably rent. Like when we're talking that big of a spread, and I'm all about home ownership, but like that's how far the math has turned.
Yeah. I think you got to get creative. I think there's mortgage packages, you know, like I would talk to a bunch of different lenders and like,
bro, you want to hear something funny with that? So there's billboards all around town from different builders, and I see it all the time. Like there's a builder who's like 2.5% rates on our new build, 3% rates on our new build. I'm like, man, should I buy one of their houses? You know, like how much is this house going to be? It's probably going to be pretty cheap. You know, imagine getting back into the 3%. And, you know, a lot of times these new build homes are the same price as the resales.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like nationally, you can get a new construction for cheaper than you can get an existing home.
Brand new.
Right. So new construction is the deal.
I do believe new construction is like, if I was looking for a home right now and I wasn't like looking for, you know, a flip, you know, way under market value, I would buy a new build.
Yeah, because you can get them for cheaper than existing homes in most markets, right? So you get a brand new home with a full warranty and, you know, lower rate, closing costs taken care of, appliances, blinds, and, you know, or buy this older house, right? And the thing is that this opportunity with new construction is not going to last very much longer. Like this is like we've had this for like almost 2 years now,
right?
Where builders have been paying right buy down to doing all these things, but it's coming to an end for a couple reasons. One, they've reduced their price down to a point where their profit margins aren't like, it's getting to where like them paying for the rate buy down doesn't make sense for them, right? They don't really have it built into their budget. Like it's getting close to that point. But also we're going to see this increase in transactions this year,
right?
You know, where
they're not going to need to do it anymore.
And they quit building so much, right? So like right now, they're like, we're going to slow down in building. We're going to let, you know, demand kind of take all this inventory off our hands over the next 6 months. See, come fall, they're going to be in a totally different ballgame. They're basically going to be controlling supply and demand because they're only going to build as much as they actually think that they need to based on the price they want to get. Right. So come fall, come late this year, fall through Q3, Q4. I don't know that it like right now, like Q1, Q2 is
if you're looking for a personal residence, I would highly advise a new build.
I bought 5 of them just to run them out.
Wow.
Yeah, because they were the rates were so good. This was 22 when I bought them. The rates were so good. You know, it was the only thing that would cash flow in my market. Like it was the only thing.
Cash flow.
I mean, I was like looking for something, you know, let me buy apartment complexes. Let me buy something.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I give up. I'll just buy 5 of these. You know? And it worked out beautifully because no maintenance, They're brand new 4 bedrooms.
CapEx is nothing.
They're worth way more than they've sold them for a lot more in the neighborhood now. And so I'm just sitting on them for right now until I figure out what I want to do. But it is the deal for investors and for if you're looking to buy something. But I would really investigate the different avenues to mortgage one of these. And if you have to come up with a bigger down payment, just save a little bit longer and come up with a bigger down payment to get your mortgage payment where it needs to be, where it makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's different, man. It is different because renters are getting trapped.
How so? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like they can't afford to buy a home.
No.
Right. And they're like, well, I'll just rent this thing. It's cheaper. Right. But then rent goes up every year and then they're not building equity, for anything. And then rent keeps going up, which eats into their savings, which they're trying to build up to buy a home. It's just this loop.
Hey, if you're looking to get started in real estate investing, then you need to use our Cash Flow 2.0 system. We give you all the motivated seller leads. We give you software, one-on-one coaching, and everything you need to start your real estate investing business. And we've seen so much success from our students with this system that we are willing to guarantee it. So if you want to learn how it all works and how you can get your first real estate deal today, go on over to wealthyinvestor.com and apply. Someone from our team will get with you, and you could have your first deal within a week once you get on this system. So head on over to wealthyinvestor.com and we'll see you there. Yeah, it's just like every market's so different. To back to the point, like if rents and mortgage are very similar, then like I'm cool, like own the home.
Yeah.
But like it's so drastic in Vegas right now that I'm like, I wouldn't pay $3,500 for a house I could rent for $2,000. That'd be like a crazy investment.
No doubt.
No
doubt. Absolutely. You would do that, especially if you're going to be here short term or even long term. But
yeah, because you save 15, you save $18,000 a year plus whatever maintenance you would have had to, put into the home.
I mean, like the old Grant Cardone thing, like just everybody should rent.
Yeah.
But no, it's, I think like instead of saying, okay, it's 3,500, like really put a little work into trying to find some alternative creative ways, to buy
the new builds. The new builds will make sense.
The new builds. Yeah.
Yeah.
The new builds for sure. But even with the new builds, like try to figure out how to get it cheaper, like works with different lenders and, stuff like that. But no, dude, I've been waiting on this year for a while. The rebound year. This is the rebound year. And it's pretty exciting because, like once the rebound happens, it doesn't reverse. It's a slow moving, boulder. Once you get it going, it's going that direction. And I'm pretty convinced that it's initiated.
Yeah.
Like this is it. We're heading the other direction.
Yeah, I am doing more real estate content this year. And so we've been talking about it. Davila has been co-hosting with me.
Oh yeah, dude. I seen the I seen that. I seen a piece of that one. He's like,
people are getting so pissed at him. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
It's hilarious.
I mean, he's just like, I want to teach people to be real estate investors.
He's like, but it's
like, it's horrible.
Oh, it's so funny. People are so confused when they watch this show now.
Yeah, but I think the piece he misses is that what Michael was trying to tell him. Are you doing it to like make money today, or are you doing it to build wealth?
Yeah, because you ain't making money today with the rentals.
I'm a buy and hold guy. Mm-hmm. And like what I've found, over the last couple decades of doing it is that 10 years is like the magic year.
When you finally make sense.
When it's like, wow, that was a good deal, right?
But in the last 9 years, I wasn't so sure I made the right choice.
But it's easy to see where that's going to go. So like Davila was talking about, 2003 was a great time to buy homes, Michael, and Michael's like, yeah, and Michael and Brian was like, well, we'll see if now only time will tell if now's a good time. But the thing is now is a good time because 10 years is the magic number. So when you look at where home prices are going to be in 10 years and where rents are going to be in 10 years, and you bought it at today's prices.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a slam dunk. You could even overpay for things now, as long as it pays for itself.
Right. And
right.
I think the whole point of that podcast that even I was trying to arbitrate is that it is way harder today to find those rental properties than it was in 2003 or 2010 or 2022. Like, it's just very difficult today.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I it's always difficult. I mean, I remember buying stuff back then. You know, I remember I bought my first house in 2000.
But what if you had the skills you had today buying back then?
Oh my gosh.
It would have been, it's easy.
Yeah.
You'd be like, bro, this is nothing.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right to a certain extent. But there again, it is what it is. Like,
It is what it is.
like, this is where we are.
Shout out to Davila. He actually had his new baby yesterday.
Yeah, I seen that. Congrats to him.
Yep. So
everything go good?
Everything was good. He's healthy, and you know, I'm sure Davila will be back in that seat next week. He's just that's how he operates.
Yeah. No, I love him.
So let's talk about you know, just realtors, investors, and everything else. So I mean, you help a lot of realtors. I help a lot of investors, and I want to kind of see both sides of the market. You know, I have been saying for 2026, you know, I'm projecting a flat market, better than last year, but you know, if we get some appreciation, it's all square. But I'm not like prepping for it. If it happens, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, you know. But you know, I'm all in on wholesaling. I'm all in on finding deals. I'm not really trying to flip personally. And that's kind of like the advice I'm giving. For you, you know, you're more so you invest yourself, but you're mainly talking to realtors most of the time. What are you telling these realtors?
They need to stack listings all the way to the ever living moon, because spring is going to happen this year. We're going to have a spring. And the thing I tell agents and really anybody I give advice to, even investors, right? When I tell people stuff, giving them advice on things, it's like, yeah, I'm giving you this advice based on this market, you know, mechanism that may or may not happen. But if you do what I'm telling you to do, it doesn't matter if that happens or not. You know, like if an agent goes out there and gets a bunch of listings and spring doesn't happen, they're not going to be mad that I told them to go get a bunch of listings and now they got a bunch of listings. Yeah. If I tell a real estate investor, you know, go buy a bunch of homes and buy a bunch of rentals, you know, they're not going to be mad because they own a bunch of homes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm telling them that this is the year they need to really, I've been telling them this for years. Like when the market's down, that's when you crush.
Right.
That's when you expand your brand, your influence, your footprint. And there are, dude, I have agents in the program who are crushing it. I mean, they're doing 100K a month.
Yeah.
You know, because they've just been, they never let up through the whole downturn.
Do you think that like, you know, it used to always be listings are way better, right? They're a lot less work than driving buyers around and all this stuff. Do you think that like the last couple of years, buyers have been more valuable since they kind of controlled the market?
Not really.
Okay.
You know, everything will always ring true with the statement that the more listings you have, the more deals you'll close. You know, so if you want to close more deals, then you need to focus on getting more listings. But like the way I coach agents is to have a 80-20 business. Right. 80% listings, 20% buyers. And to do that, to accomplish that, you got to focus 100% of your efforts on property owners.
Right.
Right. But the thing is like, I never turned a buyer down in my life. You know, I never turned a single buyer down in my entire life. But the thing is, I didn't get very many of them. Right. Because I was focused on.
You weren't looking for them.
I wasn't. No. Like any lead gen activity you do that produces buyers, then just don't do that. Just focus on property owners who buy and sell. So like my sellers would buy, or somebody want to buy my listing or a referral or whatever. You get buyers just because you're an agent. You don't have to do anything to get buyers.
What do you think is the best way to get clients these days in real estate? Would you be a social media advocate or?
I think everything works, dude. You think of the craziest, weirdest, stupidest lead gen thing you can think of, and I guarantee I know an agent or an investor making $1 million a year
because
off of it.
You were saying you used to just cold call. That was it all day, every day.
Yeah, I've got agents in the program that, dude, I have such a different, like they do Zillow, they do social, they do direct mail. I got agents who like were scared of everything. They're scared of their own shadow. And they just do direct mail and wait on people to call them. And they crush because they send out so much mail. I've got agents that do every single little thing there is known. The objective of lead gen is to create conversations with the exact people you want to do business with at the frequency that your business grows at the velocity you desire. So whatever you're doing for lead gen, whatever that activity is, the key metric is it creating conversations with the exact people you want to do business with at the frequency you need to grow your business at the speed that you want? And if it's not, then you either have to tweak that lead gen or do a different lead gen, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really care. That's why I tell them when they come in, like, I don't care what you do. Like, you can cold call, you can do social, but if it's not creating conversations with the exact people you want to do business with, then we're dead.
Cold call's probably easier to get started because
it's easier to get started. It's easier. Like, okay. So like
because social takes time.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got a guy who he's been doing social for 2 years. Like he's been literally like posting, like he was posting like 3 times a day. Then he started doing like, 4 times. I mean, 3 times a week. Then he started doing like 4 times a week. Then he's like, get to where he's doing every day. Now he's doing like multiple times a day. And in December, we were at a workshop and he was like, it's just not working. I'm not getting anything. I was like, bro, things that you think aren't working are normally working about 20 times more than you think they're working. And the moment you stop doing it, you're going to realize it. I was like, keep doing it. And 30 days, we're not even 30 days out from that workshop. He already picked up 2 commercial listings from somebody that called him off his videos, $4 million worth of stuff. He got a $1.5 million buyer. He went and showed his listing to, all from his social, but he's been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, but I think the biggest problem people make with social, bro, and this is, I think, honestly, the moment that it started happening for him is when he started calling out his audience in the beginning of his videos. He was just like saying stuff. And I'm like, bro, nobody knows who you, like what you're doing or like who you are or who you're supposed to be talking to or any of this stuff. I was like, you need to say, hey, if you are looking for a place in Gulf Shores, or if you're, if you want the best coffee in Orange Beach, Alabama, or if you, whatever, and start calling out your audience. The moment he started doing that, dude, he started getting leads.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. My ads, right before we did this, I was like doing ads and telling my guys about just different ads we need done. But like my ads are literally just so to the point and direct. I'm like, hey, are you an entrepreneur who likes to golf? And it's like, yeah, that's me.
Right.
Like,
you have to.
Link.
Dude, you have to.
Yeah.
Or otherwise the algorithm doesn't know who to show it to. Like, they don't know who you're talking to.
Right.
Like you have to do that in your organic.
And dude, your identity and how people perceive you can change. Like, I've been a real estate guy, since the beginning of social, but like as time has gone on, I've talked about other parts of my life that I've enjoyed. Like, oh yeah, that's like that Christian business guy. And then, dude, lately at the golf or at the airports, I've been getting recognized for golf. People are like, oh, are you playing golf? Like, whatever. I'm like, nah, I'm actually like going to go speak at a business event. And they're like, oh, okay. Because I'm just putting out so much golf content and ads. And it's just like, it's so funny to me.
And then you're doing golf with like you're talking about business while you're playing golf. So then people are really confused.
People are super confused, but they're buying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, you're testing out a lot of things, and you're calling out audiences and, like they recognize you as the golf guy. Now you're like doing a business summit. So it's, but it is a long play. It's like, how long did you do social before you started to actually get business from social?
Yeah. I mean, it took a long time. Yeah. And I think too, even with my social, I always tell people I really took it serious in COVID. And that was when I started like really pressing. But I was making Facebook videos and stuff in 2016, 2017. Like once, maybe a week or every other week, I'd make one little video on my iPhone, no edits, just, whatever, right? And it was from just doing that I actually saw enough benefit to be like, you know what? Like, I should probably take this more serious. Like, I'm getting an investor here and there. I'm getting a deal here or there. And that was just on Facebook. And I was like, this Instagram thing seems interesting. This TikTok thing is interesting. This YouTube thing. And, obviously going hard at those ended up paying way big dividends. But it takes time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even to the point of your guy, right? He did it for 2 years. And then you finally gave him one big switch. But you can't give him that switch unless he makes
unless he makes the content and I can see what he's doing wrong.
Like he has to make all the mistakes to finally realize it.
The good and the bad part of it is that I've told him that I've tried to drill that in his head for like probably a year before he actually started implementing, like calling out your audience. So it took him a while, so that was the bad part. But then he did it, so that was the good part. But people
just got to do the wrong things for a minute to finally get it.
And people are scared to just do something. Right? They're scared to make the call. They're scared to make the video or whatever. They're scared to pitch.
Yeah.
We were just talking about a gentleman before, that
gotta
sells
sell.
courses. Like you have to pitch. I mean, even as an agent, you got to go to a listing appointment and pitch. It's all pitches.
Yeah, people are afraid to like put
Ask for
pressure.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is this is what they want to do. You're depriving them of the thing they actually want to do. And they actually want to do it with you. But if you're not, if
you don't ask them to do it.
If you're not making them an offer, then they have no opportunity to do what they want to do with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way I see it. It's offers are I mean, I couldn't sell forever. Like I
I know that was a mental block.
I was like, everything's got to be free and I'm going to make money off affiliates, but learning how to pitch changed my entire life, because just like Myron talks about, I don't know if he's done the thing with you, like he'll bring out a pack of Tic Tacs. No, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, you see this pack of Tic Tacs, and he's like, the jet ride to Las Vegas is like, $100,000, but it's the same price as these Tic Tacs, because he's like, I can just make an offer, I can just create an offer. And then basically he's like, I can make money out of thin air. I can make as much money as I want to out of thin air, because all I have to do is solve a problem, make an offer, and then boom. And it really is, man. When you get that down where you become like a master pitcher. Yeah. Like this morning, I did 4 sales calls and sold 3 people, and the fourth guy was just confused. It was just like he didn't understand. But like being able to do that and having those kind of results, it really does change your life. And becoming a great salesperson and doing it in a way, because I told every single one of them, like, and it was dead facts. Like, I'm not doing this for money.
Yeah.
I'm doing this to change people's lives. I don't need the money. And God honest truth, I don't need the money. I do it because I love to do it. And I love to help people, and I want to see these people succeed. And the only way that I can do that is to get you to pay money, because being a free coach for so long, I realized free people don't do anything.
Yep.
They don't do anything.
You did the free thing for how long?
7 years.
Thousands of people.
Yeah. Tens of thousands. Yeah. And I, on the website, there was like 70,000 people that were registered, when I flipped it over. But that built the brand though.
Yeah.
That did what it was supposed to do.
Goodwill.
Absolutely. And I did really well off affiliates during that time and stuff. So I love the path that I chose, and I'm glad I am where I am now. And now I'm growing on the other side, building out the team, scaling the executive suite, and, learning that whole process. It's fun. It was like golf. I had dinner with Omar last night, and we were talking about golf. I was like, man, what's so fun about golf? It's just the journey of going from really bad to a little bit better to okay to like, that's fun.
I know you sent me your video of your swing. You're like, or whatever you were doing. You're like, bro, I just did this.
Yeah.
I'm like, there we go.
Yeah. No, it's just the journey of it. And same thing with business. Like, I got a long way to go with building out the company and stuff, but man, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Going through that. And I think a lot of people, there are times when it's like, oh my gosh, brick wall, I don't know if I can get around it.
Yeah.
And those are the moments where people normally quit, but it's just, I enjoy it.
What do you say to an investor or an agent who's got punched in the face the last couple of years? And, maybe they already quit, but now they're like, oh, you know what? I'm about to dust off my shoes and get my laptop back. And
I think it's okay, because like, you got to go through a market like this to know how to handle a market like this.
Right.
Like you can't not go through that. Like if you didn't go through that, you wouldn't know what to do. So this is what's going to happen to those guys. If they will get up and dust themselves off, get back in the game, they'll do well, like now we're going to have a rebound. They're going to come in and things are going to kind of get back to normal, and, things are going to be a little bit more predictable, and it's going to be a little easier than it was, last couple of years, and they'll do well, and the market will get back to real normal. It'll be real fun. They'll make a lot of money, but then they're always going to have this moment in the back of their head. And when we get to the next part of the cycle where it gets back down to 4 million existing home sales, and it looks exactly like what we just went through, they'll know exactly how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll know exactly how to handle it. That was like when I lost everything in 2008. I was sleeping in a car somebody gave me, and that was like the best time of my life. I was sleeping in my car. It was I was in a Walmart parking lot. It was late December. It was 2 a.m, literally back seat with a cover over my body. I was reading The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. I'll never forget this moment because it was like a pivotal moment. And everything hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like I realized everything about the market that I didn't know before. You know, closings happen every day and business is unlimited. And like I just understood how market cycles worked and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to be the number one agent in my market. Like I just figured out the whole game. But without the market crashing on me and me losing everything and getting out of the game. So I got out of the game for 3 years, 2005, 6, and 7. I got back into 2008. So like if you
did quit.
Yeah.
Just like
I quit. I went back to roofing houses, worked on an oil rig, served tables. And so if somebody quit, okay, that doesn't mean you can't jump back in and learn. Like you're even in better shape now because when you come back, you're not new anymore.
Yeah.
You were new. Now you got some battle scars.
Now you got 10 years of runway.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You got 10 years of runway. And honestly, bro, I think it's going to be the biggest 10 years of the housing market's history. I think we're going to have more transactions over the next 10 years than we've ever seen in history due to the Gen Zers. Sorry, millennials. Millennials and Gen Zers. But in 92, birth rates spiked tremendously. So, in 90, 92. So like right now we've got more 30-something-year-olds than we've had in a long time. And they want to own homes. There was a survey, 90% of Gen Z want to own homes, right? They want to own the home. Then you got all the people that you know, refinanced and bought at 3% rates that have kind of been holding out because they're sitting on low rates. All that's going to, you know, it's not going to be an explosion. It's just going to be this gradual thing. But I think I was telling you that we're going to come back and it's going to take a couple of years to get to where we're going to plateau. And I think that plateau is going to be a lot higher than we've ever seen.
Right.
Over a 10-year period. I think real estate agents are going to make more money than they've ever made over the next decade, you know, in history. And I don't know that there'll be another decade like this one. Maybe there will, right? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen after this decade, but I know that this cycle, I believe, is going to be the best, most profitable for real estate investors, real estate agents, homeowners, anybody that has real estate or involved in real estate in any kind of way. Like this is the decade to squeeze for every last drop you can, because I don't know if we'll have another just like it.
Yeah. It's interesting with AI and everything else, you know, like these next 10 years are just like, who knows?
Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, with all that, that brings a whole nother dynamic. There was an agent sent me a message like, "Did you see this?" And it was a video about this guy. It was on Fox News, and it was this guy. He's like, and the thing was like, you know, buyer used AI instead of agent or something. And the guy was like, you know, yeah, of course I did it. Saved me $10,000 on commissions and blah, 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 right? And then the story kept going. And basically all it was like an AI search portal. And then they just connect you with one of their agents and just do the deal for a discount. You know, so it was like still a huge, like it was an agent. And I messaged the girl back and I was like, it's just a discount broker. You know, they just did the deal.
Search.
Yeah, they just did it for $2,000 instead of, you know, $12,000 or whatever. And they're like, they still used an agent. It was still the same thing. I was like, discount brokerages have been around forever.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that a lot too with, you know, the wholesale business and everything else, because, you know, we're trying to automate as much as we can. Every business should. And then I was just thinking like, you know, what is the future of wholesalers or realtors or, you know, people? And I was like, well, you know, agents have been thinking they're about to get replaced forever. You know,
yeah, dude, when ForSaleByOwner.com came out in like 2000, everybody was like, you're done, man. Yeah, right. Like it's over.
Zillow just came out. You guys are toast.
Right. Right.
And then, you know, the iBuyers came.
Yeah.
They're like, bro, the iBuyers are it.
Yeah. Yeah.
An open door's worth $1.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Right. It's crashing and burning. They've lost so many billions.
Oh yeah. And then you're just like, yeah, buying and selling homes is messy.
And then last year they had the lawsuit. They had the Citra Burnett trial that like compromised the buyer agent commissions. You know, that was supposed to eliminate buyer agent commissions, right? Buyer agent commissions have went up since the lawsuit, right? They've went up. Last year, more consumers used real estate agents than ever before in history. It was a historic high.
Even though we had the lowest transactions.
The lowest transactions. And if you think about it, we're at an all-time high with the amount of information people have on homes and stuff, like all-time high. Like they know the consumers know more about the individual homes that they want than 99% of the agents
they've already
do.
researched it.
Yeah, they're like honing in on this one house. Like we're looking at tons of houses.
But
like
you need help negotiating.
They're going deeper.
Yeah.
Well, but also like all this information makes it kind of it's a little overwhelming as well. Like the more information they have, the more overwhelming they get with like
analysis paralysis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With how to handle it, what to do, what the process is. I mean, just knowing about the house. I mean, that's a very small part of how to buy the house and what the process actually is. But definitely AI can come in and do some things and help consumers through the process and stuff. So it will be interesting to kind of see what happens. But there is going to be 5-6 million homes sell every year. And, there's always going to be need for consultation, to some degree. Right now, it's like they're using AI to kind of help get the leads and, maybe communicate a little bit with the leads or help them find the house. But then, even the people that are trying to replace agents with AI, they're still using humans, to actually do the deals.
Yeah. The longer I've been in this business, the more I just realized like, agents and wholesalers are like two sides of the same coin. It's like on one side you have the agent who's trying to, get them top dollar and all these things. And wholesalers are more so just trying to get it sold as fast as humanly possible. And it's just like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You want
Real
speed?
estate agents trying to get top dollar and wholesalers are trying to get as low as possible, basically.
Yeah. But for speed, right? But it's just like, at the end of the day, like,
it's the same thing, right?
These sellers still go with, they're like, they go with either one of them.
They get to choose. That's their choice. So they want speed or they want, they want price. So it's their choice and they can sell it on their own too. Like there's plenty of choices, but yeah, I do think of agents and wholesalers kind of in the same.
Yeah, they're both providing a service because neither is actually going to buy them.
Right. And it's their business, right? Yeah. So like Davella, for example, like it's like I'm doing 7 figures on wholesaling, but like he's sitting here trying to get rich on rentals. Or like that was his dream or whatever to get rich in rentals like within like a couple years. It's like, no. Like crush your business and just let your business feed your wealth building machine of rentals and stocks and things of that nature. Use depreciation and not pay any taxes and just keep crushing your business and just go as long as you can.
Yeah. It's just going to take 20 years.
Yeah, at least 10.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't come out yet, but we filmed with Cardone a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I seen it in your story.
Yeah. And Davila was like, hey, if Ryan wanted to become a billionaire, how would he do it? Does he just buy enough rentals? And Grant's like, no. Like, there's different levels of wealth. He's like, becoming a billionaire through rentals is like.
There's only one way to become a billionaire.
Yeah. He's like, you got to build a business.
Yeah.
And, we were just talking about all the ways to build a business and what it takes. And it was just interesting because it's just, what are your goals? At the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to one of my guys today and, we sold 3 coaching programs this morning and I was like, we're pretty much on track to do like 5 mil this year, And he's like, and then what are we going to do from there? I was like, I don't know. I feel pretty good. A very high margin business. It's like, choices, But yeah, it is. Everybody has different ambitions and goals and, what they want. It's all about what you want out of life and like build your business around your life, instead of building your life around your business.
Yeah.
That's the mistake most agents make. Their business controls they jump 3 feet in the air every time their phone rings and they work till 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, dude,
showing houses.
That is not the way to go, But yeah, it's.
What is the biggest mistake you see agents making?
They try to do too many things and none of them actually move the needle.
They just got shiny object.
Yeah, shiny object. That's the biggest thing, man. They try to do like 15 different things and none of it actually works, what they're doing.
Why did 70% of them not even sell a home?
I think it had a little bit to do with the market retracting the way that it did and people and agents not really understanding how to handle the market. I mean, dude, we're literally down to 2008 levels of home sales. Like when we talk about 2008, like we talk about listings are, 4 times lower than 2008, and delinquency rates are, historic lows, and prices are high. Like, all the metrics are different comparing now to 2008, except home sales.
Yeah.
We're at 4 million, which is exactly what we were in 2008. Like, think about how scary 2008 was. That's where we are in terms of home sales. So, and prices are high. It's literally this, right? I'll tell you why. Right now is the hardest, toughest market that in history for agents, because we're down to 2008 levels of transactions with way more population, and home prices are still at all-time highs. So think about it. Like, hardly anybody really wants to buy a home. And then if they do, you got to try, they got to pay like the highest price that a house has ever sold for in the neighborhood, basically. So it's really the toughest time. Owners don't have to sell. We had more owners delist their properties, like historic, like highs of owners delisting their properties over the last like 90 days. Historic. They don't have to sell. And historically high pending deals that got canceled, like the buyers just canceled the contracts. Like, you got historic highs of cancellations, highest prices ever, lowest sales ever. I mean, it's literally the hardest market ever for agents. So I think that's that has a lot to do with it. And they just don't know how to handle it, right? So I don't know, man.
Well, that's what I tell people. I'm like, look, if you're still around today as an agent or a wholesaler or a flipper, and it's like your full-time business, kudos to you.
You're good.
Yeah, like, you just went through the hardest thing imaginable, and you're still here.
It doesn't get any worse.
Yeah,
this is it. This is it. It doesn't go anywhere but up from here. But yeah, they just get caught up like trying to do too many things. Yeah. I'm sure you see it, in the wholesale business.
Yeah. And, like, me personally.
I have 28 businesses.
I'm the king of, you know what, that sounds cool. Let's do it.
But you have a great team, and you have a great infrastructure, and, you're able to test things and try different offers and products and stuff. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
You've figured that business side out to where it enables you to act on all these crazy ideas.
Yeah. Some pan out really good, some don't. And, that's life of an entrepreneur.
Everything in between.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, bro, I know you got to go speak on stage for us here in a minute. So, that's a really good update. I'm encouraged. I'm excited for this year in 26 in the real estate market, no matter what you are doing. And it's great. If anyone wants to get with you, what do they do?
Oh, just Ricky Carruth everywhere.
Okay. Go hit them up, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode. Peace. You guys have heard me say Airbnb is dead, and this guy came in to set the record straight and prove me wrong. I have got the ex-co-host of Bigger Pockets. That's right. How I like to refer to him now.
The axed co-host.
The axed co-host of Bigger Pockets.
They
Robuilt.
They do not spread misinformation. It's raw built. And I like to say that I got old Yellard from Bigger Pockets.
Yeah.